What's going on, guys? It's Austin from A to B Transport. I'm just coming to you guys to make a video. I know I'm like super behind. I haven't made a video in like a week, 2 weeks, which is like totally outside of my character, and I apologize. It's been a crazy couple weeks. Me adjusting, coming back home from the semi-truck has definitely been hard because we've been kind of all over the place with making sure that I have work and getting a job that, you know, pays enough for me to, you know, pay the bills, but then also being like, you know, is this what I want to do? Like, you know, where do we go from here? You know, right now I'm currently with the Amazon DSP, as you can see, and I'm liking it so far, you know, if you want my honest opinion. I just got certified to get into the step vans, which didn't take long. It took me about 2 to 3 weeks of like, there's a lot of courses, and let me just say that thing is very unnecessary. There's a lot of stuff in there that has to do with like your CDL, like air brakes and like hours of service and stuff, and you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't feel like you need to know that stuff to work at Amazon. They do have a different set of hours of service, so they have a 60-hour clock instead of a 70-hour clock. So it's a little different, but it's also like, it was like 22 videos. Every video probably took about 30 minutes. And then there was an exam after every video. And then after the 22nd video, there was a final exam that was like 70 questions long of all the shit that they went over in the last, like, it took me like a week to go through all of those videos. I was doing like 4 videos a day, just like after work from like 8 to midnight, just fucking pumping them out. And then on top of that, they make you do a road test. So I have to go to this like hotel, this Embassy Suites in Tempe, and the instructor was absolutely aghast when he figured out that they sent me there with a CDL. He was like, he asked for my license, and I gave him my license, and he's like, are you shitting me? And I was like, what? He's like, you have your CDLA. I was like, I know. He's like, why'd they send you here? I was like, I don't know. It's like, I tried to talk to them about it, and I tried to kind of say like, hey, like, I've got my CDL, man. Like, I drive 18-wheelers, bro. A box truck van isn't going to be any different. Like, I've driven a box truck van at other jobs when I was with Cintas. Like, I've driven the 22-footers. I've driven the 26-footers. Like, I'm not too worried about this box van. I'm not. You look at my MVR, like, in 18-wheelers, I've never crashed, so I don't think I'm going to crash in this thing, you know? And they were like, no, we insist that you do it, like, you have to. And I'm like, alrighty, well, it's my current job, and it's like an extra $1.25 an hour to get certified to drive in this box van. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And it's all right, you know what I mean? It's a very good like filler job for me, because you're very to yourself. You don't talk to nobody. You know what I mean? I'll try. I've been trying for 3 days to vlog this, and I'm just so bad at vlogging. Like, you guys saw how long it took for me to do it on the semi-truck. It took me like all the way up until like my last week with them to get one vlog out when I was on target. I'm just like the worst at recording. I like to do these little sit-down review videos, but like as far as like recording a piece, stopping, recording a piece, stopping, recording a piece, stopping, and putting it all together, I cannot do it. I can't. I don't know why. It's awful. I'm so bad at it. You know, at least, you know, constructive criticism to myself, I'm really bad at it. So like, I would obviously like to have you like to vlog while I'm putting the truck together. I would like to vlog while, you know, we're loading out and we're going to our first stop, or, you know, stuff like that. I would love to vlog that, you know, like a couple stops, you know. But there's nothing to this job, you know what I mean? If you've Amazon Flexed, it's the same thing. You just get a bigger route. And the DSP that I work for, every DSP covers like some geographical area. So like, we cover like Biltmore / like Fashion Square-ish, like South Scottsdale area. So like, your route might be different every day, but you're gonna be in the same area. You know, like from 40th Street to Thomas to Camelback down to like 20th Street. Like, that little box is kind of where we're at. So it is cool in the sense that like, our routes do change, but our area doesn't. So like, you get to see, like, yesterday I did Camelback, and I was going through these mansions in Camelback, and it was, It was awesome. It was so good. They go like, I was in mansions like in the mountains all day long. It was so much fun. Now, I know a lot of you guys are asking like, what the pay's like, and every DSP compensates their drivers differently. And my buddy got me this job, and he had obviously told me about the compensation plan prior to me getting hired on, because I'm like, I got bills to pay, so I need to know that this is going to work before I apply, and I don't want to like apply and then leave because the money's not there, and then they get mad at you for bringing me on, and I waste their time. Like, so the regular step van drivers make $18.75 an hour, and then the box van drivers make $20. And they give you the opportunity. Every DSP is different. Like, they could be like, well, if you have a good Netrodime score and like you don't violate any of like the driving laws for Amazon, like speeding and stuff, and like wearing your seatbelt, they'll give you some type of bonus. Some people are like, if you do 2 rescues a week, you automatically get your 40 hours, even if you finish early, like stuff like that. There's other like the ways that they compensate, right? So they have like some type of incentive at every DSP. At our DSP, we strictly pay for rescues. So right now I'm in what they call nursery. So like I'm new, so all of my routes are like 80% of what a regular route is. So when I rescue, I don't get paid for the rescues. And so everyone has 1 mandatory rescue a day, obviously, unless they're getting rescued and they're extremely behind. So you do your 1 mandatory rescue, you go home. Or if you're out of nursery, which I'm gonna be out of nursery probably by next week, I should be out of nursery. And once I'm getting full routes, every package you rescue is $1. So to put it to perspective, my buddy literally set a record like 2 weeks ago, like the last week of peak, and he did the most rescues that DSP had seen, and he had like 450 rescues in a week. Made an extra $450 on his check for the week, on top of his check of like, he's making like $19 an hour, 40 hours a week. It's like $700. He made like $1,200. It's really, really good. So it's the incentive there is good. You know what I mean? I'm making $20 an hour, so if I do my 40, I'm making $800. And then if I can rescue, even 50 packages a day, obviously you're gonna have some bad days where you're behind, but like 50 to 70 packages a day, put an extra $200 to $280 in your pocket, and you're making $1,000 to $1,100 a week. I had to fucking fight for that at Swift, and I'm home. I get to see my kids every day. So it's good for now. I do have, I keep changing the way that this channel is going to go, but I'm starting to look into like side hustles and things to do to make money, maybe find more consistent pay. Like right now I'm DoorDashing, so like eventually I'm going to do a vlog while I DoorDash. I just ideally I'm trying to get different equipment. Like I would like to have a second phone, because it's hard to like record and DoorDash at the same time. So I'd rather have like a second phone with me, so I can have like my DoorDash running on one and then the other one just kind of recording what I'm doing. So that's why those haven't came out yet. But as far as everything else, man, I'm good. Like everything's been good. It's been very stressful the last, like Christmas was hard. I genuinely think that I left Swift absolutely abruptly, and I should have planned it out better, because coming back was so like just disorienting and what's the word I'm thinking of? Dysfunctional. It was so bad. My pay was all over the place. Like we had bills to pay, and like I was scrambling to make sure the bills were paid. We figured it out. We're fine. But it was very stressful for me. But I do enjoy being home with the kids. I love it. Amazon is great. It's a very, very non-customer facing job, so I do enjoy that. I'm at the point, like I said, I had an offer to go back to Raising Cane's and be a manager, and the pay would have been about the same. The reason why I didn't do it is because they told me it was 4 days, and my buddy said that it is 4 days once I get to his restaurant, but I go through 5 weeks of training 5 days a week, split shift. And like right now, my wife is, you know, kind of running the ship right now as far as work goes. So I'm not going to go back to 5 days and make her readjust her schedule when she's like, you know what I mean? Like she's got her schedule. So now with the way that Amazon works is I have a set 4 days at Amazon and she has a set 3 days at her job. And that flow is just so good, you know what I mean, with both of us working. Whereas like at Swift, like I was always gone, so she really couldn't work. She was working maybe 1 day a week, maybe 2 days. Like there's maybe 1 week where she got 2 days in where I just so happened to be at home and there were shifts available. So trust me, I am so happy to be home. I don't think I'll be on a semi truck in the foreseeable future. I have looked at other things like Cisco. I looked at MBI. I couldn't find anywhere to apply for MBI. I had an interview with Waste Management. My mom's mom has she retired from a construction company and just never hit me back about it. So there are still like semi-truck opportunities kind of being thrown at me, even with Amazon. Like, you know what I mean? Like even the guys at my dispatch are like, if we were to bring on semi-trucks, would you drive them? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, but also like maybe not, because the semi-trucks at Amazon, from what I've seen, they only get paid like $22 to $24 an hour. And I'm assuming that's because they run them 5 days a week, 10 to 12 hour days. And so you're getting paid for 5 days, 50 to 60 hours, potentially overtime, versus a 40-hour work week. So I like this a lot. I do my 40 hours plus rescues. I'll be making more money, and on top of that, I'm DoorDashing on the side, and I'm making about an extra $500 a week on the side DoorDashing, putting in about 20 hours a week. So on the 3 days that my wife works, I DoorDash from like 8 to 1, like 5 hours a day. So that's 15 hours on the side, and yeah, and so I make like an extra like $300 to $500 a week, which is good. You know what I mean? It works for now. And one of the things I think I'm going to get into, and I will incorporate this into my YouTube channel, is I think I'm going to learn how to window tint. My sister's husband talked to me a lot, and he's got like 3 businesses, and he's a very like entrepreneurial type man. And he was like, dude, like I'm telling you, you got to find something like at home where you can hunker down. And he's like, Amazon is cool and everything. He's like, but like you need to do something like mobile detailing, mobile window tint. From mobile window tinting, you could actually incorporate mobile detailing, and then you could do vehicle wraps and stuff. And like, he's like, those dudes make like $1,000 a day. And I was like, I started doing research on it, and like, yeah, like the average window tinter makes like $700 to $1,000 a day. So I'm looking into it. I don't think I'm going to be paying $2,000 to go and learn how to do it. I think it's something I'm going to do as like a side hustle, like learn on YouTube. I'll do it on my own car. Like my mom already said I could try on her car. I have like 3 or 4 homies that were like, yeah, you could absolutely start tinting on my car. Like I need a tint anyways, whether it's bad or not. So, I have offers, which is good. But a lot of this is just, like I said, the adjustment was hard. We're starting to kind of see the waves mellow out. And so now it's just kind of like, all right, what am I going to do now? Now that I'm home, like, what's my next move? Because Amazon isn't forever. It's not. I do eventually want to open up my own DSP with the buddy that got me hired there. That is 100% a concrete plan. But it's not going to be a super hands-on thing. Like, we're going to invest the money to do it. We're going to learn, obviously, how to operate the DSP, but we're going to bring in a third person that's kind of going to run it. And me and him are kind of going to just take small percentages and go and do other investments. So, because I don't like the idea of, like, I'm not super sold on doing Amazon, like, 100%, because I've heard that there's tight margins and stuff. So, like, if I am going to get into it, I'm going to get in with a small investment. I'm going to take a small cut of, like, 26%. And let somebody else that knows what they're doing run it. And then, even if it does scale up, to like a 30 to 40 vans, I'll be making like $80,000 a year on the side, just showing up for meetings, and you know what I mean? Like very, very minimal effort, just from more of like an investor standpoint. So it's, that's a plan for sure. And then if I end up actually liking window tinting and being good at window tinting and establishing a tint business, I'm in Arizona, dude. I understand that some tint companies like go through a harsh winter. I don't think we will experience that in Arizona. you want my honest opinion. Because it's Arizona. It's hot all the time. We get winter for like a month and a half, 2 months. So even if it's 2 months and you're making $1,000 a day and you're working 5 days a week, you're making like 16 to 20 grand a month. So that's like, I've been doing a lot of research on it. I'm gonna, once tax season comes around, I'll probably take a chunk out of that, invest it into like a roll of film and some gear, and I'll practice. I have a couple of tutorials that I've already seen, so I already kind of know the process of what to do. I get worried about my hands because I'm not an artist at all in the slightest. So I don't have steady hands. A lot of people say that you don't have steady hands at first. It's acquired, more so than like natural to have just steady hands. You just acquire, like you just know, like eventually you just adjust. So I'm not too worried about it. That's something I'm definitely going to be interested in doing because it seems like a very good business, especially in the state that I live in. People are always going to be needing tint. I can get into connections with local dealerships and get deals like it. You know, whenever they take cars in on trade, I just come in and apply. You could start doing paint protection. You could do headlights, taillights, like I said, vehicle wraps. All that is like the same process. Once you learn how to tint windows, you can do everything else. It's just on a different scale, different cutting of the film, etc. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about it. I might not even be in trucking anymore, which is why I'm kind of like, you know, apologizing in advance for my channel kind of being all over the place. But, you know, and one of my buddies made a point. One of my buddies was like, why don't you make a new channel? Like, your channel is really good for transport. Like, you know, it's all transportation. Like, and I genuinely think that at this point in time, there are a lot of you guys that are here to see what I'm doing in transportation. But I've talked to a lot of people in the comments, and I feel like a lot of people just are here for me. You know what I mean? I'm a very upfront, genuine person. That's not a humble brag. It's just the type of person I am. I'm very genuine. I'm very down to earth. I'm a people person. I think people are attracted to me in the way that I speak and the way that I present myself. And I don't think that. I think if I were to carry this channel, transition it into learning how to window tint, people would still watch. I don't feel the need to start all the way over. You know, we're already almost to like 500 subscribers. The channel has almost 30,000 views. Like, it's not something I necessarily want to start over. So, and if I'm just going to change niches and stuff like that, to me, I don't feel like that should change it, you know, especially in such an early stage. You know what I mean? It'd be one thing if I had like 1 million subscribers and it's like, yeah, well, I'll just make a second channel and then funnel everybody to the second channel. But when you're new, you put a lot of effort in. Like, this channel is my baby. And this was like my biggest fear coming off the semi-truck was that this channel would die. And I'm just doing it for fun. So there's no need to like make a new channel and rebrand. And like, yeah, I will change my name eventually once we figure out like what I'm doing. And if I'm going to be in transport, it'll be A2B transport. If it's going to be in tinting and stuff, it might just go to my name. You know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And I know this video is longer than normal. I apologize. But this is just, it's an update. I missed the video last week, so I guess I kind of just put 2 videos into one. I will try to start vlogging. I promise, because I want you guys to see like how my day goes at Amazon. It's definitely a lot more like physical labor than Swift, obviously. Like when you're driving a semi-truck and you're doing, you know, dropping hooks, no-touch freight, you're out of your truck for maybe 30 minutes a day, and you're fucking dropping landing gear, raising landing gear, and that's it, really. Whereas like this is so much more refreshing because like you know, you're going door to door, dropping packages and stuff, and so it's definitely refreshing in my opinion. It's nice. It's very nice, you know, to have a breath of like getting out of the car. I think the activity, like the actual like getting out and like carrying the packages, keeps me so like energized throughout the day. Whereas like I'm not fatigued at all. I'll get off work at 7 o'clock and I'll go DoorDash until midnight. Like I'll run like 14-hour days between these 2 jobs that I'm doing, and I don't even break a sweat. Like I'm just chilling. So it's a lot of fun. So I really want you guys to see it. I know there's other Amazon delivery drivers that do it, but this is my channel and these are my people, and I want you guys to see the process. But I will wrap the video up there. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. for notifications when I upload my next video. Be sure to be active in the comments. I miss all y'all. I miss talking to you guys. I still get comments from, these last 2 weeks I've been getting comments like periodically of people like, talking to my other videos, and it's so nice to just keep talking to people and stuff. Even if I don't post, like, people are still watching and people are still like interacting. But be sure to interact in this video. Drop some comments down below on your opinion on window tinting, or how the trucking industry is treating you. Do you guys have any experience with Amazon DSP? Let's talk about it. I'm all ears. Again, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Catch y'all later.